program we had last week. And we want to continue this program we had with Pastor John and Pastor Paul. And, their experience in Ukraine with the embassy of God and the History Makers training is mind-blowing, not just to them, but to all the other participants who are in the program. And we just want to encourage you again to watch this program and to listen to what they are telling us carefully, so that we might be able to take a decision. Maybe you want to become a part of the move of God in the History Makers training and the Embassy of God, the retreat with Pastor Sunday. And so please follow this program, and at the end of it, get in touch with us, and we will be willing to help you to also experience and be a part of the move of God in the Ukraine. God bless. So what do you think this program has given you? This History Makers training?
The program has given me something very clear. There's no failure in life. Failure can only happen when you don't know the law and the principle, or if you know that you refuse to pay the price to fulfill it. And that is the principal key, what I remember from here. So now, for you to get the principles, you have to be a friend of God. So you have to find time to be with God, and you have to be disciplined, and that discipline means that you have to pay the price to be with God, to rediscover yourself, and to discover what God wants for you, and to schedule your time, to make sure that to put some restraint around yourself, to discipline yourself in general. Then when you discover the law and the principles, you apply them. Everything works perfectly, everywhere, in any sphere of life.
Are you sure your life will be better because you came for this program? Are you really sure of that?
Definitely. Because until now, life has been just like on daily basis. You live as it is. But this program has given me the wisdom to understand that life needs to be planned. 5 years, 10 years. You need to plan your life, and you need to live according to the goal you place in front of you. So that every day of your life, you are living to any step you take. It pushes you closer to the goals you are placed in front of yourself. So you see, the life becomes more channeled. You know exactly what you are doing, exactly where you are going, and everything you do is just coming to push you towards where you want to go.
Now, somebody who has been to this program before had remarked and said that he has a big problem in trying to communicate to other people and tell them what actually happened in this History Makers training. That because when I try to tell people that this is something beyond this world, that I've never had anything like this in my whole life, and they will all be asking, what is it about? Is it about management? Is it about teaching? Is it about training? What is it about? And he said, no, it's all that, but more than all that together, that people think it's just a seminar that you go to. Because many pastors are also doing seminars. Many pastors are also doing conferences. This is just another conference. So people who are listening to you now, that's exactly what they're thinking. This is just another conference. I can go to America, I can go to London, I can go to and have another conference. So what differentiates this from all other conferences that go all over the world and that you people have been to before?
The greatest difference is, here is not about theory. It's not about just talking. It's about practical things. That you see it, you can touch it. It's palpable. You can touch it, that this is it. That's different. In most of the conferences where I've been is, you are taking notes, somebody's coming to talk to you, blah, blah, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's no practice. But here, whatever you say, you bring proof about it. You see, you say that this is it. Now look at the proof. Look what I've done. So everything surround us shows exactly what you are saying. When you talk about the system, you bring people that somebody, for instance, that lady, the lady who came to talk to us, she was a housewife. And she said even herself, she said that she was just lost. The only thing she knew was about changing the children, their parts, and cooking them soup. That everything she knows. Yeah. Now, how can you explain that she moved from the kitchen to become a mayor of the city? That's impossible. But that's the proof you show to everybody that you can do it. Where you know the principle, you apply it. And the lady explained to us exactly how she started, where she went, to become a mayor. She didn't go to school for that. It just should follow the principle. So this is not a conference about talking, but it's a practical thing. Another man came to us to explain to us how the system works, for instance, to change how the laws are taking the society. But it's not it's a system. You come, you don't want something in the society, you build a team, and you go to the authority. This is what we want. You present to them, and things work perfectly. So it's not about talking. Here is a practical training. They tell you exactly where to start, where to end, how it works. Because nothing works just like that. There must be a system that produces the same result consistently. Even if you are not there, but the system is still working and you continue to work.
So this is not just a seminar, a workshop, or in the normal understanding of the...
It's more than a seminar. It's a workshop. It's a mixture of workshop, but whereby you are learning practical steps to take to achieve practical goals.
But that's a challenge that people say, but this is it not no, that's just another event, no program.
The way I would look at it is to say that if somebody was to build the largest church in Europe at the age of 33, an African who never wore shoe until he was a teenager comes to Russia, has never been in church, and comes to Russia and through the wilderness of communism finds God in a unique way, and then God uses him to do things that you can call a phenomenon within the body of Christ, and he says to you, you can do the same if you come to me and hear these principles, that the things you've seen done through my life that you think are magical, miraculous, were actually based on principles. If you will listen to me, I will tell you exactly how I've done it. And whatever you're calling in life, if you will apply these principles, I guarantee you'll get results to that same degree in that call. Anybody can conduct a seminar based on what they know, but it's different if somebody has achieved phenomenal results. If Michael Johnson would say, if you come to me, I will make you run 200 meters the way I ran it. You just have some talent. I'll convert your talent to accomplishment. The only way to do it is to say, let's get the 200 most successful people in the world throughout human history. Let's go as far back as we can go. Let's go to Bonaparte. Let's look at George Washington, Carver. Let's look in history and think about who are the great men in history. What do they have in common? What is the common denominator of success? And they were to say to you, oh, by the way, when you look at us, our lives have been built on the same principles. If you discover them and apply them to yourself, the results we got in our lifetime, you get in your own lifetime. So it's different from just a seminar to succeed. It's something that helps you fulfill life the way it was meant to be. It's an important key.
Because a pastor is sitting down there now and he's remembering all the other seminars he has been to. I've been to this, I've been to that, I've been to this other man's seminar, gone to the workshop of this, I've gone to do conferences, people do conferences. And people are even tired of conferences and things like that. And they're thinking, I don't have time anymore to go to conferences, seminars. Are you saying this is not a regular thing? This is not just another event or what?
I am convinced that anybody that is able or makes it mandatory on himself or herself to attend this seminar and is open to it, submits himself and goes through the process, will never be the same. I'm fully convinced that the impact on them, if they receive it with an open heart, will last them the rest of their life. You see, I've been a student of success for many years in the sense of, why do people make it? I live in Nigeria where some people are there, other people are there. Some people don't have a home, other people. I'm not talking about stolen wealth, I'm talking about people that live in the same society, honest people who work hard, go to school, get very successful in terms of, how they're able to make impact in a sphere of society and change the world. And The question is that why is there that disparity? The answer is that success is built on principles. What this seminar from beginning to end is discovery of principles. It shows you your limitations. It helps you to say that which you've not been able to do. These are the reasons. You will answer by yourself. Within the first one day, you will look at yourself and say, I know why I've been failing. And that if you do these things, the success is guaranteed. In other words, without exaggerating at all, is to look at life and to say that there are no failures in life. There are no failures. There are only people that don't know how to succeed because they don't know the principles by which success is based, or if they know them, they are failing to apply them. There are no failures in life. Is to say that which you want to do that you think is impossible is because you have not challenged yourself, because you do not know the principles by which those things work. The another way to look at it is to say Africa is called the third world, the developing world, and we have the first world and the second world. Why is Africa the way it is? Africans have excelled all over the world. Pastor Sunday is an African in Ukraine. The other Africans in other places. Why is Africa the way it is? Even in this seminar, we discussed it. And we came to the conclusion that we know the reasons why. It's not superstitious. There are principles. There are reasons why. One of the fundamental reasons why Africa lags behind is because we don't understand the concept and the management of time. We waste time and we think we're just wasting time. We're wasting our nations. Our nations are lagging behind. I believe that anybody that comes that can embrace the truth will never be the same. The question is, will you be open and will you be willing to apply what you discover when you go back?
Being a convener of this whole event, I know that there have not been many seminars or conferences where I have been to. In fact, as a matter of fact, I cannot even remember a single one where I have been to personally where I needed to give exams every day and test on or exams on every topic that I've learned, and where I needed to mobilize myself to really to remain in the program, that I have to pass the exams every day and many exams and the amount of work that I needed to do. Is that, what you tell us about that?
I would say is everything is built in, number one, to know where you are and to get you where you should be.
I see.
That's how the whole thing is concerned. That the first thing is to examine, first of all, where am I standing? Did I have been able to achieve what I could achieve at this time? If it's not so, where should I be in the next 10 or 5 years? And I've never been in the conference whereby they tell you to read, to answer questions, to give exams, and the discipline. If you come late, you will not be accepted again. If you are not done your job in time.
Yeah, people don't hear, but I know. So yeah, I can relate to what you're saying. But just imagine people who don't know what you're talking about,
because
who are listening now.
The system is built in the way that to remove laziness and indiscipline from your life.
I see.
Because you can never achieve anything if indiscipline is. It's just like in the school. If you don't do your homework, you don't read, you can't pass exam. That's how it is. So in most conferences we go is where you are free, you are taking notes, whether you understand or not, you go back home. But here is, they want to make sure you understand what you are there for. They want to make sure, have you been able to achieve what you came for? You pay your ticket, you pay all of these things. It's not about money here. It's about you. You are the first person. They are focusing everything on your success for you to succeed. So you have exam, they give you the topics, you answer the questions. Now the question had to be answered based on your experience, with what you know, must be detailed, what you know, why is it things that have gone wrong in your life.
So it's not just some things, just giving back exam, what they told you, just write it back to the person.
No, it's not yes, no, yes, no. No, that is that's what we do in the world. No, here is yes, why, explain why, how will you apply it in your life? What do you think this lesson can change your life in the future?
Self-analysis.
Self-analysis. So you see inside of yourself. You have to be sincere about yourself. Then you have to give a thorough writing that this is how it is. And you have to do that in less than 4 hours. So you have a book to read, for 2 hours. Imagine most of us will read one book for 1 month. Sometimes we read it for 2 months. Yes. But in this place, they put in the system that you have to read one book in 2 hours. And not only reading the book, but you must understand what is written in the book, what are the lessons you learn from that book, how will you apply those lessons in your life. So it makes you to be sober, it makes you to control your life. As you said something really that is the 5 first minutes, seconds of your life that are very important. How you manage every minute of your life, not every day, but every minute of your life. That would count. Now, I've never been in the conference where they tell me how to manage every minute of your life. So that's the key, that you have to be disciplined on yourself. Read the book, go to the question, answer them, and reply them. If you don't give them on time, they will not allow you to come back. Either you stand on the wall for the whole seminar, for the whole, 3, 4, 6 hours standing. Now, if you get 3 red cards, you not come back again in the system.
You go back home.
You go back home. If you come from England, you go back to England. So that, yes.
What will you say about that? Is that a form of studies that is totally different from what we're used to?
Yes, I would say yes. And what the seminar was doing was to allow us to experience the 2 grams of pain that comes from disciplining your flesh, rather than the 2 tons of pain that will come from failure in real life.
What does that mean to people who are watching us? They don't know that statement. What somebody is hearing that, what is he talking about?
If you discipline yourself to do what you need to do when you need to do it, you experience some pain.
Yes.
But that pain is nothing compared to the pain you will experience if life teaches you that pain. The pain you go through when you make yourself do what you need to do when you need to do it is little. It's like 2 grams.
Okay.
Compared to the pain you will experience when life has taught you the pain or brought you to a place of pain. What the seminar was trying to do was to help everybody go through the pain of personal discipline, which is just 2 grams, compared to the pain that comes when you're 60, about to die, and you look at your life and there is nothing. When you're 70 and you look back and you can't see what has happened the last 70 years, that pain is much more superior than the pain of disciplining yourself to do what you need to do when actually you need to do them. So these 3 days was to help us to make the choice to discipline ourselves to do what we need to do, especially when the principles have been taught us, so that it now becomes a personal choice to live a life of discipline. Now, we also learn that pain is a friend. It's not something to be avoided, especially if you take yourself through that process. But that pain will come in life if you don't take yourself through the process. But the pain from life is a much heavier pain and is full of regret. But the pain from discipline has no regret in it.
But how could people package that in a seminar or conference from our own understanding of seminar conference? How was that packaged? That you are able to, that was communicated to you, and you were able to say you got something?
Because the schedule was very intense. We wake up in the morning, if you slept at all. And the first day, we started at 7:30 with breakfast, which lasted for, or was scheduled to last for 1 hour. Eventually, was being cut away. And then we have devotion for about half an hour. Between 9 and 12, you have first 2 lectures, a break at 12 for 15 minutes, 12:15, and if something happened, it's 5 minutes. And then we had seminars, 2 seminars in between, then lunch. After lunch, we had about 2 to 3.5 hours to read. We had 2 hours to read a book. And then when you come back at, what time do you come back again?
8 o'clock.
We come back at 8 p.m. By the time you're coming back, that book you read, you're supposed to have summarized it and submitted, plus the assignment from the lectures you attended in the morning. And then when the class is ending by 12 midnight, you still have to you have an assignment to submit by 7 a.m. and still start to read the book, because when you go to class, you don't have time to read again. So if you're able to catch some sleep, maybe 2, 3, depending on who you are, by the time you go through that the first day and then second day and third day, it is communicated. because the schedule is very tight
So
and
this
very
is not
intense.
just teaching by talking. This is not just theoretic seminar. Or
It was not theoretical at
It's
all.
practical. It's practical. Really, you have to demonstrate that you have understood what they taught you and give it back to
I
us.
see.
Now, don't give it back to us just on the surface. We want you to go more deeper. Use your own experience and how you will apply it in your life. And that's the nucleus of it. That is the gold part of it.
So you could call it a boot camp, or Rangers training, or Marine training, like in American Army, or Rangers Marine.
Yes, but the difference is that I can be a soldier for a few years and I retire. This is about life. It's your life. Is boot camp, but life boot camp. Boot camp in the sense that it's not just to make me go to the war, fight and win and come back. It's whether I'm in the war or at home. This is life. Because it's about life. It's about my life. You know, one of the we took a class on fighting and discipline, and one of the things we learned is that the greatest way to fight in discipline is to protect your time and plan your life, to make the most of your time. And from that class also, we know that time is a constraint and that the greatest success in life is born out of constraint. This helps you to understand that your life on earth is only a pause in eternity, and how you manage your seconds is how you're managing your eternity.
Brilliant.
But I don't think many people in the world
Have you ever thought of that?
have ever thought about that. And that's where there are few people.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor John. Thank you, Pastor Paul. Our time has come to the end again, and unfortunately, we need to end this program at this time. And it's been wonderful to just bring our friends to you to tell you their experience or their experiences in Kyiv, Ukraine. And we really hope it will help you and challenge you to want to find out for yourself what is really going on in Kyiv or in the Embassy of God. Well, you are welcome, and I will be happy to receive you here. Just get in touch with us through the telephone and the email that is on the screen. May the Lord bless you.